Hi Noah. So this is my Canvas classroom that I have been working a little bit on for FISD. So it is the official LMS for my students and one that they will have been using ideally since at least last year, if not before that. I just want to remind you that all of my students are online. Um, completely. So I will not have a physical space in the classroom. I only have the virtual one. So I did a couple of different things here to try to make my space as informative and interesting as I could. So when they go into Canvas, they log in through the student portal with FISD and they click on my class, and this is the first page that they are going to come to, the landing page for English for British Literature. There are three buttons here that they can click on. The daily landing page for my classroom, my desk, which just has some general information about my syllabus, tutorial times, etc., and then the actual unit coursework. So when they come here to the daily landing page, it actually opens a Bitmoji classroom that I am working on. It will have a link to the Unit 0, because that's what we'll be starting on, the Unit 0 HyperDoc and the Unit 0 pacing tracker. That will also be linked in Canvas, but is just here as a resource for them. Additional resources and our schedule, since we're going to be a little wonky with being online full-time. In addition, a number of these items in the classroom are interactive and will take students to different places, such as the welcome slide with the reminders, today's highlights, and it's for the first day of class, a thought of the day, so on. And then all of these have a button that will take them back to the home page as well. So I have, again, my contact information and some resources to YouTube, Google Meets, Flipgrid, Padlet, etc. that we might be using. I will have a calendar for the week available here, as well as any notes for what is the on-pace lesson for the week, any small group sessions that I might be hosting, the whole group sessions, etc., etc. And then finally, this slide is probably not going to be included. I'll most likely end it after the calendar, but I'm still kind of playing around with it. So coming back here to my desk will just be this kind of same photo of me, the general info, and tutorial times as they are available for both students and parents. And then finally, the coursework, which is where the bulk of everything is. Now, even though we would be starting at Unit 0, the stuff I've been making for Modern Classroom Project has been in Unit 1. So I'm going to click here. And that takes us to an overview of all 5 lessons, and I have 1 lesson per week, that they can click on based on where they're at. I will always have the on-pace lesson as current here, and then the pacing tracker, which I showed you previously. So if we click into lesson 1, it immediately pops up with the unit, the week number, and I'll probably change this to lesson 1 instead of week 1, but I haven't decided yet. Our essential questions, learning targets, the acronyms, and then I have everything divided by must do, should do, and aspire to do. So my acronyms indicate whether the item that is here is whole group, independent, or small group. And I try to leave choices for these items, and some of these items at least, to be either independent or small group. One of the items is a reading of The Wrath of Grendel, The Coming of Beowulf, and The Battle with Grendel in our textbook, and to use annotations. So the student can choose to either independently or with up to 2 of their peers do this annotation on Kami or Google Docs. Here I will have the videos that I make for um, in this case, medieval England background, Beowulf introduction, how to annotate in epic poetry, and then the assessment. So those videos, once they are created, will be linked here, and then the guided notes will also be linked here as soon as they are created in the Lesson 1 HyperDoc. All of the notes will be linked together. And in those notes, I will also have a checklist of each of these items in the must do, should do, and aspire to do. In my should do, I request that students come and come to office hours and discuss anything that they may be struggling with. I also suggest that they complete a Unit 1, Lesson 1 self-reflection, and so it will force them to make a copy. And this is prior to them completing the mastery check. They can look at the different concepts and skills, identify whether or not they feel that they are ready to take on the mastery check, and they noted that if they scored 15 or lower, to see me prior to completing the mastery check so that I can perhaps provide them with additional support. And finally here at the end of the must do is the Lesson 1 mastery check. I don't have it linked for some reason, but it is created, so that all they would need to do is click here, and then they would be directed to the mastery check inside a Canvas, where I would then grade it and the grades would be posted. So that's the general overview of how it's going to work. This is a link to the course homepage, which I did not realize goes back to this page. This is like a shell that was created for the course by FISD and then shared with us, so I haven't gone in and gotten rid of any stray links yet. But it will go back to that daily landing page, teacher desk, and unit coursework when they click on that button, just in case they need to find any of the information that's relevant. Yeah, and as you can see, even my sidebar here is completely different because I'm in a template course now, naturally. Okay, there we are. In addition, students will be able to see the People tab, which will have other students listed, and that way they can get in touch with their peers. Should they want to set up a small group, like they will need to for their book clubs and so forth. They will also have access to announcements. I have one ready to post that will go up on the 8th, a couple of days before school starts. And then they have discussion boards. There's a ton in here that I probably need to get rid of, but the first one will be the importance of heroes, which is locked until the first day that the unit opens, and will stay open until the end of the unit, so in September. The first unit is 5 weeks long. So I think that's everything that you needed to see. If you have any questions, please let me know and I would be happy to answer them. Thanks. Bye.